Glamorgan sealed their third win from 4 in this season's NatWest T20 Blast competition, thanks to captain Jim Allenby's 96 off just 59 balls. Peter Trigo replied with a career-best 94 off 59, but Somerset ended the game in Taunton 7 runs short. Having won the toss and batting, Allenby opened up with Jacques Rudolph, and the signs were there pretty early on that this was a decent pitch to bat on. Having taken 2 fours off Trigo's first over, Allenby then dispatched Craig Overton over the fence for the first maximum of the game. Marcus Trescothick mixed the bowling up with Trigo, Dirk Nanners, Overton and Alfonso Thomas all bowling within the first 5 overs, but all of them got the same treatment from Allenby and Rudolph. Glamorgan found themselves on 49 without loss at the end of the 6 overs of power play, and with the pitch seemingly not doing too much to worry the batsmen, they were looking good to make a challenging score. Max Waller and Craig Macheda came on to try to stem the flow, and they did pull the run rate back a fraction, but an audacious reverse slap from the South African Rudolph went the distance, and Glamorgan had moved on to 74 without loss at the end of over number 9. Rudolph had made it to 40 off nearly a run a ball when he tried to take Waller over the extra cover boundary, only to miss-hit it, and Trigo completed a spectacular catch over his shoulder while running back. That left the Welshman on 94 for 1 at the end of the 12th over, and Chris Cook simply carried on where Rudolph had left off. This time it was Overton watching the ball sail over the boundary. But the young bowler exacted his revenge next ball when Cook tried to repeat the dose, only to find Thomas in the deep. Cook went for 18 to leave Glamorgan on 128 for 2 with 5 overs remaining. Cook's wicket brought in one of the world's best finishers of a T20 innings in Darren Sammy, but it was Allenby who was doing the hitting, this time off Nanners, who'd come back on to try to tighten up the last few overs. Thomas proved yet again why he's such a good T20 bowler. His second over went for only 3 runs, and his third, and the innings 17th, saw Sammy nick behind to Craig Kieswetter on 3. Graham Wagg was promoted up the order, and by the time the last over arrived, Allenby was in the 90s. But unlike Wagg, who planted Thomas over the ropes, the captain couldn't get the bowler away to complete what would have been Glamorgan's first T20 ton since 2004, when Ian Thomas hit 116 against this same opposition, which also happened to be the last time Glamorgan beat Somerset in Taunton. So the visitors had set the home side and around par 177 to win off their 20 overs, having made 176 for 3 themselves. But it was Wagg who once again did the damage to the home side when he had Trescothick caught behind in the first over with a score on just 4. And Wagg was at it again in the third over when Kieswetter went after him, only to find Andrew Salter in the deep. After 3 overs, Somerset were on 15 for 2, needing 162 more runs off 17 overs at a rate of 9.5. With Trigo and new batsman Alvaro Peterson in, Somerset were very capable of keeping up with the rate, and the South African international proved that with a glorious straight drive for 6 off Michael Hogan. 3 fours in 1 over helped take the rate down a bit, but by the end of the power play, Somerset still required just fewer than 10 runs per over to win. Trigo hasn't fired on all cylinders so far in this T20 season, but he was starting to feel bat on ball a lot better now, and together with Peterson he took the score to 71 for 2 at the end of the 9th. The 10th over saw the end of Peterson though, a reverse lap finding Dean Koska to end his innings on 34 of 24 balls made with 4 fours and a 6. Trigo was now joined by James Hildreth, playing for the first time since the birth of his first child, and his role was to let Trigo do his thing. A single to square leg brought up the 13th half-century of the all-rounder's career. It had come off 37 balls and included 7 fours. Some tight bowling from Sammy and Hogan had brought the required rate to more than 14 by the time the 18th over started, but Trigo managed to clear the ropes off Wagg in an over that went for a dozen runs, and that left Somerset needing 31 more from the last 12 deliveries. Hogan then bowled an excellent over to just about confirm his side's victory, Just 4 runs came off it before Trigo hit Wag's first delivery of the last over for 4 and his second for 6 to leave Somerset needing 21 off the last 4 deliveries. A single followed, leaving Trigo on a career best 94 before Hildreth hit a 6 off the 5th ball, but that left Somerset needing 8 more off the last one, which Hildreth could only hit to Hogan to take the catch and leave Wag with figures of 3 for 44 off his 4 overs. So, in spite of Trigo's brilliance, Glamorgan, thanks to a superb 96 not out from their captain and some very good bowling from Hogan and Wag in particular, Hogan went for only 20 runs from his 4 overs, the Welshmen ran out winners by 7 runs as Somerset finished on 169 for 4. That sees the Welshmen move into 3rd place in the South Group, while Somerset find themselves surprisingly 2nd from bottom. They have a chance to get their campaign back on track when they welcome Hampshire to Taunton next Friday, while Glamorgan will look to keep the momentum going when they meet Kent in Cardiff, also next Friday.